everybody. Patrick and Colleen with livingonlifesterms.com. Here we are at Letchworth State Park, which is a little bit southeast of Buffalo, New York. And this is a state park that my niece and her husband and family live here close by. Said a park we absolutely have to go to. And it was actually voted the America's best state park, and you can see why. Behind us there's a bridge trestle along with the waterfalls. There's the upper, middle, and lower falls in this park, and it's absolutely beautiful.
We sold our house and all of our possessions to travel and be together. In 2007, Colleen's symptoms started to appear, and in 2014, the official diagnosis was for spinal cerebellar ataxia. Despite our circumstances, we want to share through our experience that it is possible to live a joyous life.
Our last stop in Maine was in Eustis, and we stayed at a beautiful campground called the Cathedral Pines. If you're ever in that area, I would highly suggest staying there. The very beautiful campground, gigantic sites, the largest sites that we've seen since we've been on the road. So when we left Eustis, our next stop was to be in Danville, Vermont. And so I went and I plugged the address into our GPS and started driving. And we actually went an opposite way of the campground than when we came. And very beautiful scenery. And then it struck me, we were only about 30 miles from Quebec. And so then my mind starts racing. We've never driven into Canada. I've never researched anything that we had. Did we need to have any papers for the dogs, all of this? And so I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to grab the passports from in back, and the worst thing that'll happen is we'll have to turn around. So we went in, and not a problem. Took our passports, and everything was good. We were good to go. Drove through a little slice of Quebec, and when we re-entered back in the U.S., again, no big deal. The worst thing that happened was we had some avocados and some oranges that were confiscated. Even though we bought them in the States, we couldn't re-enter the States with them. So that was our little adventure for the day, and kind of a little note on how easy it is to get across the border. So in our future adventures, one of our destination places on this journey was to come to New England for the fall colors. After we left New York, we hit Vermont and New Hampshire pretty early, and so we had a couple of weeks to burn before the colors came in. And so what we did is we took a trip and went and spent a couple of weeks in Maine. We've been to the coast before. We've been to Bar Harbor and Booth Bay Harbor before, so we wanted to go further inland, and we went up towards Baxter State Park. Unfortunately, as pretty as the area is, there was not a tremendous amount for Colleen and I to do. It wasn't very accessible. We were hoping, of course, in that area there are a ton of moose. And then when we drove to Eustis, there was an area where they came out, and there was a DOT lot, and they came in because there was a lot of salt deposits in that area. And supposedly they came out every night, but the 5 times we went there, we didn't see any either. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but it was still pretty country. So we transitioned from staying in New Hampshire up to Maine, and now here we are back in New Hampshire.
We are enjoying each day to the fullest, living with joy through acceptance. Our wish is that our experience may offer hope to those that may be facing a challenging situation in their life. We welcome you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and take this journey with us. We would love to connect with you. Check us out at livingonlifesterms.com.